Okay, hello everybody and welcome back to another video. It is around Christmas season, as you can tell from my Christmas tree, and I figured it's kind of time where most people reflect on times past and some of their favorite memories. And today I wanted to talk about my 3 happiest memories, or my 3 best times I had in China, because it's been almost 4 years now that I've lived in Taiwan, which is not China. That's just as much time as I spent living in China, and I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about these things before it gets a little too old, because it's been so long since I lived there. I feel like people are gonna ask questions why I'm still even talking about it. And you know, despite the fact that I am much happier here in Taiwan, I thought it would be a really good opportunity to at least tell some good stories about China, not be too harsh or critical on it. But we were filming a video about Chinese New Year and what different Chinese people do for Chinese New Year. And I decided to go to Meizhou, which is a city known for its Hakka culture. And my other best Chinese friend, who I still talk to, Ms. Zhou, is from Meizhou. She's Hakka. And I rode my motorcycle from Huizhou up to Meizhou and met her family and went to her amazing village. Rode all the way to Meizhou to film this episode. We're here in a small, tiny village, and we're gonna show you what is up with Chinese New Year. And it was so cool to see the different Hakka buildings, because it's very, very different. Hakka people in China, I'm not sure if this is Taiwan. It's a question I have for Taiwanese people. Maybe you could tell me how different it is here in Taiwan, but in China, Hakka houses often had their whole family living in it, so grandparents, aunts, uncles, and your parents, and maybe your children. And there would be sort of these crescent-shaped houses. In the back of the house, there was usually a mountain. In the front of the house, there was water, whether that be a lake or a pond, but it was just a way that they had built their houses. And it looked really cool, and this was one of the very few places in China where I saw people actually be able to keep their cultural ancestral homes. Because, of course, as we know with China's history, they lost quite a lot of their ancient architecture. And some of these homes were hundreds of years old. It was really cool to see. And her family was so welcoming, as a lot of Hakka people are. Hakka people in Chinese is called Kejiaran. And Kejia literally means guest families, because they migrated from the north of China to the south of China a long time ago. And they're just known for being the most friendly people, because they're sort of guests families themselves. And so they're very friendly to their guests. And I got to try their special Kejia wine and their food and the grandparent. It was just so much fun, and there was fireworks. Miss Zhou is my best friend because we worked together. She was my CT. She was my Chinese teacher for my class. So I was teaching English and she was the Chinese teacher. And I would always frequently debate with her about things like Chinese culture. And she was just the best. And to meet her family and explore that part of the culture was just so cool. She's a big reason why I have the knowledge that I do of China. She's just taught me so much about Chinese culture and why they do the things that they do. Having that experience was so cool. I love Meizhou. I really wish I could go back. I love Hakka food. I love Hakka people. I'm really interested to eat more Hakka food here in Taiwan, see what the differences are with the language or the cuisine. I'm not sure. I imagine there are some differences, so I've heard from the few people I've talked to. But that's something I'm really looking forward to, because every time I met a Hakka person in China, I was so happy. They were just so friendly, and I knew there was gonna be food involved, and I knew it was gonna be good. And so you can watch that video. I think it should still be up on CMOK's channel. It was one of the first videos I ever did, and it was just a ton of fun. That was back when I was thinner and healthier and handsome. My old car, the Mark I Volkswagen Santana, one of the coolest cars I've ever owned. The reason I love it so much is it reminds me of me. It's a giant piece of shit. And I wanted one for years and years and years, and one day I was driving my scooter just off a street that I lived off of, and there was this car park with a bunch of used cars for sale behind us, like abandoned village.
So I'm hanging out at the shop. Prazi left me at this corner. He took my camera and tripod and said wait for 10 minutes. So I've been sitting here in this like horrific, burnt out, homeless shelter looking hellhole of a village. It's pretty cool actually. It's very atmospheric.
And I went and talked to the Laoban, the boss, and I asked him about this Santana, which had a price tag of 12,000 RMB on it, and he's like, I'll give it to you for 7. And I was like, sold. Gave him the cash, drove it off the lot, no driver's license, no insurance, no registration, nothing. I don't know how I got away with it. I understand it's irresponsible. I shouldn't have done it, but I was very excited to have this car. And me and Simok had the opportunity to take this car to a city called Shaoguan, also in Guangdong province. And we had a great time. On the way there, driving this car, it was like our dream to drive this car. It was such a piece of shit. It was boxy. It had a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine, which was not big enough for the size of this car, but it had these really comfy seats, and it died on me multiple times, and it just sat in my garage for like months and months and months and grew a ton of mold, and it almost killed Seamilk because he was sick. As we were driving to Shaoguan, it died. The alternator died on us.
Oh, fuck.
We're having a bit of an issue where the car is...
It's stopping, dude.
Dying.
We were literally just...
Are you sure it's dying?
Yeah, I swear to God.
But we were trying to go further than Shaoguan, but we ended up in Shaoguan when the car died, and luckily enough, Simok had just filmed a documentary there called Conquering Southern China, and he went to Shaoguan and he knew all these people who owned like a motorcycle shop enthusiast building. I'm not really sure how to explain it. And we asked them for help because the police were coming by and harassing us and telling us to, you know, move along because we couldn't obviously justify why we were there with no license and no registration or anything. And they came and they hired a tow truck and we drove to a shop, got the alternator replaced, and had a few nights out in Shaoguan. We drank with these guys. They were so much fun. We were playing games, we were chatting. We watched Conquering Southern China on the screen. And it was just one of those really special moments where you get to have such a great time with the locals and get to know them on a level that is just really special. Shaoguan was also really beautiful. There were some areas like Dick Mountain that we went to. And yes, it is literally called Dick Mountain. Why do you ask? Because there's a mountain that looks strikingly a lot like a dick. And the Chinese imaginatively named it Dick Mountain. And it was cool. We hiked up there and saw that, got ridiculously drunk with these Chinese people, and I woke up feeling wroth.
Last night was a bit of a shit show.
It was loads and loads and loads of fun. It's just we drank a little bit too much.
But we were driving back to Huizhou, and just the whole experience, having that with my car, I miss that car a lot, and I just miss what it enabled me to do because it's of course a lot easier to travel farther away with a car than it is on motorcycles and scooters that I had in China.
One other thing I also want to mention is that yes, I understand, look how adorable that dog is, by the way. Sorry, short attention span. I really like the street too, check this out, it's very cool. Well, it reminds me of the street I live on. Anyways, I do understand that I have gained a lot of weight in Taiwan. I understand that a lot of you are going to want to point that out to me in the comments section. Feel free not to. I get it. I understand that I've gained a lot of weight. Don't worry, I am on the course to be losing it. Just know it's something people are going to mention. Also, I think the reason I'm making this video is because it kind of helps me regulate the way I feel about China, because obviously, you know, I left China and came to Taiwan because Taiwan is more in line with what I believe. I simply can't agree with what China is doing as far as its government is concerned and its national unity. I just don't agree with it, and so I came here. However, it's also easy, I think, to just throw all your hate onto China and just, you know, blanket statement everything China is bad, and I don't want to do that because I do have good memories from there, and it's nice to bring those up to sort of balance out the way I feel about that country, because I have a sort of mixed relationship with it. There are parts that I really don't like, and there are parts that I do like. There are people there that I really miss, and it's nice to remember them and share it with you guys. So I guess that's why I'm making this video.
It's very difficult to explain these stories in a way that makes sense to you guys because often it's just the experience of being with others and creating those memories is what makes them so special. And it was just, you know, the trip just had so much of that socialization. And even though I left China, even though I can't agree with China, even though that I'm much happier and fatter in Taiwan, I still do have a lot of fond memories of China, and I do wish I could go back one day, but I don't really think that's likely given my history with the place. But, you know, it's Christmas time, and I started thinking about it, and I miss it, and I miss my friends, and I miss my times that I had there. There's so many more happy memories I have in China. These are just the 3 that came to my mind when I was thinking about the happiest moments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button, it really helps. You can follow me on Instagram at Prozzy_SR. And I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye.